He gives you the cash, he so does give you the cash. He will get money from his videos, he will do what he can. My name is StarkyBooty32, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a TV show that I used to enjoy watching when I was younger, that I have been thinking about quite a lot recently, and I thought I would tell you all about it because I think it would be great to share this experience with this show that I used to love to you all. So, when I was about 8 years old, I used to watch a TV show called Jibber Jabber. For those who don't know, Jibber Jabber is a Canadian children's show about two boys who are twin brothers called Jibber and Jabber, who like to imagine things and pretend to go on adventures that they imagine. It was one of my favourite TV shows that I used to watch when I was 8 years old, and I would always come home from school and watch it in the afternoon on a daily basis. And I have been having a lot of nostalgia for the show recently, so that's why I decided to make this video to have a look back on it, as I thought it would be worth sharing. But basically, as I said, in each episode of the show, Jibber and Jabber go around their house and use their imaginations to imagine some adventures that they like to pretend going on. In almost every episode, they always annoy their older sister, whose name is Jessica, and always get in her way. Because of this, she doesn't like what they do and is always embarrassed by their actions and thinks that they're really annoying. Some other characters in the show include Jelly Roll, who is Jibber and Jabber's dog, Marcy, who is Jessica's best friend, Jibber and Jabber's parents, and that weird green puppet guy who sounds like Dracula on the TV. And in each episode, Jibber and Jabber don't always go on the same adventure, but they have different imaginary adventures that have a different theme and setting every time. There's a space one, a pirate one, a haunted house one, a Chinese one, a superhero one, and an invisible one. Out of all the adventures in the show, the Chinese one was my favourite. It also says on Wikipedia that there's a Gothic Victorian one, but I don't remember there being a Gothic Victorian adventure in the show. So to anyone else who has seen Jibber Jabber, could you clarify if there was a Gothic Victorian adventure in the show? Because I don't remember there being one and haven't seen an episode of one, and that would be greatly appreciated if you could clear that up for me. And in almost each episode as well, Jessica is the main villain in each of Jibber and Jabber's adventures. In the space one, Jessica is an alien. In the pirate one, Jessica is Captain Hook. In the haunted house one, Jessica is a zombie. In the Chinese one, Jessica is an emperor. And in the superhero one, Jessica is a supervillain. But in the invisible one, Jessica is really just herself, but she can actually be seen, and the invisible one is the only time when Jessica joins in with Jibber and Jabber's imagination, as she pretends that she can't see them in each episode of the invisible one. She didn't like her brother's other adventures, but she likes the invisible one for some reason. Maybe because they don't imagine her as a villain in that one? I don't really know. Another thing I really like about Jibber Jabber is its theme song. The theme song sounds very bizarre, orchestral and epic, and it has this voice in the background that goes, "Oh, oh, oh, oh," and it just repeats, and it sounds really dramatic, and that combined with the orchestral music also makes the theme song sound really epic, and it's very original as well. The theme song also sounds different in the intro from the credits, as they composed it with slightly different music in the credits. Its theme song even sounds so good that it's stuck in my head, and I've always been thinking about it over the past first couple of days. That's just how good the show's theme song is. Something that surprised me about Jibber Jabber that I found out, and I really want to talk about this, is that some of the voice actors in it are also in MLP FIM. Chantal Strand is the voice of Jessica, but she's also the voice of Diamond Tiara. Ashley Ball is the voice of Jabber, but she's also the voice of Rainbow Dash and Applejack. And Kathleen Barr is the voice of Jibber, but she's also the voice of Trixie and Queen Chrysalis. Who knew that these three actresses were so close to each other and would meet up again to do some voice work in MLP FIM? I never knew they had that close of a connection, and because of that, I can't watch or think about Jibber Jabber without thinking about My Little Pony. Sadly, the show is also very obscure and it isn't really known by a lot of people, although it did used to air on Studio 3 in Australia years ago, and that's how I found out about it and used to watch it. I also recently found out that the show only had 26 episodes and was only one season. One season! That's really short, and like a ninth of MLP FIM. It would be good if the show had more seasons and episodes. I certainly thought it did back when I used to watch it, but it's very surprising to find out that the show was short and only had one season with 26 episodes. The show also didn't have many characters as well. Now when I look back at it, there were only 8 characters in the show, although each of the characters would always be different in each of Jibber and Jabber's imaginations, but in reality there were 8 characters. Jibber, Jabber, Jessica and Shelley Roll were the main characters, and Marcy, their parents, and the green puppet guy were some of the minor characters. We also only hear Jibber and Jabber's parents in the background in some episodes, but we don't get to see their full faces. But for a show that's only set at someone's house where they imagine things, obviously there's gonna be limited characters. Let me also talk about the animation too, because I think the show's animation is worthy of criticism. The show was animated by Northwest Imaging in Vancouver because, as I said, the show was Canadian produced, and it was rendered using 3D models as well as applying slight stop motion to it, which is why the movements of the characters look a bit weird. The show's animation was very simple and obviously not of spectacular CGI with great detail, but I don't think it looks horrible. If anything, the animation in the show looks a lot like the first Toy Story movie. It has the same graphics as the first Toy Story, and Jibber and Jabber's character designs look a lot like the kids in the first Toy Story did. The show also won a few awards despite it being a very obscure and simplistic show. It won 4 out of 5 of the Leo Awards and was nominated for Best Animated Program, Best Overall Sound, Best Musical Score and Best Screenwriting. It also won a Pulcinella, however you pronounce that, a Pulcinella Award in Italy for Best Animated Character. There's not much else about the show which I can talk about in this video, and there's also not much more information I can find about the show that I can share, but overall, Jibber Jabber was a fantastic TV show that I really enjoyed watching as a kid, and it was one of my favourite shows on Studio 3 back in the day. It's a show which certainly does hold a special place in my heart, and one which I will always remember for time to come. But to anyone else watching this video, have any of you seen Jibber Jabber before? If you have, what did you think of it? Did you like it or hate it? Tell me down in those comments below. And until next time, my name is StarkyBeauty32, and thank you for listening, humanity. My name is StarkyBeauty32. I'm one of the best people on YouTube.